Please.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Make a motion to approve the agenda.
I'll second that.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, say nay. Motion approved.
Make a motion to approve the minutes.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, say nay. Minutes approved. Communications.
Had DCAT board on Tuesday, and they are funded. They got the, will be funded for another year, they said, so that released some pressure from them. Starting to put together free swimming days. They promote free swimming days throughout the community, so we're getting those set up. That's about it.
I think this policy meeting on Wednesday.
I got their late transportation. For what?
Wednesday, Easy Con,
What's this coming week?
was last week, Wednesday. By the way, you're vice chair now.
What?
You're vice chair now.
Oh. Probably am, huh?
I'm not kidding.
I had transportation Wednesday afternoon.
Yeah,
Snooze, you lose. They were looking for nominations, they mentioned your name.
they mentioned his name?
Yeah.
Kevin mentioned my name.
Me too.
Never informed you. So.
Remember when you got me vice chair?
Yeah. I hear president for you down there.
I didn't have anything, so I didn't have any meetings.
The only thing I had, I didn't attend, but they had the Veterans Commission meeting. They basically talked that they're gonna be, the American Legion in Williamsburg's hosting a dinner June 10th, which our officer plans to attend, and then she's attended some training in June as well, and she got the grade markers that she brought in and showed us, and then when the next meeting is. But and then also the reason that meeting was really brief was it was the same day and time as our former Sheriff Slockett's celebration of life, so I attended that this week also. Well attended, but other than that, I didn't have any other meetings. I have the one in Eldora coming up next week, and the mental health meeting next week, and we are on the board for withdrawal from the 2080 on the next mental health meeting next week, so which will be in effective September 1st. That's all I have.
I had Easy Con on Wednesday, elected Chris, changed some timelines on some funding for some people. No funding was for us this time, for it's basically Dalzell Trails. And then I got quotes from this Renault Drive thing. Did you guys all get one there? Or did you just give me?
I just gave you two.
I keep telling the guy, every time I talk to him, this will be considered for the following budget year. I just try to pressure him and say, hey, if you do this sooner, we'll give you a better deal. The better deal is still more than he quoted me the first time. So it's still up to me, we can't do anything until another budget year, anyhow, we're still want to go through with it. The county home, the roof, I got two different bids. The one is gonna be under 2,500, so I don't need really big bids anymore. And he's gonna let me know Monday when we can do.
And that's just for the old nursing station, right?
Right, the roof is, it's a flat roof, he's gonna put a slope on it, he's put a 10 slope on it. Yeah.
Or if it's something we should look into, Chris, for the transportation.
We're looking for some bids for that roof.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think it's leaking, but it's,
All right.
yeah.
I think that's all I had. You here for open forum?
May I?
Yes.
Sure, and I should have introduced myself when I came in. Is this fine or do I?
Yep, no,
I'm
you-
Rochelle Fuller. I work for Senator Grassley out of the Cedar Rapids office. And I'm going to share what Kevin's used to hearing me share in the COG meeting when I attend. Just for those folks who don't know, we work a lot with our veterans. I work a lot with Jenny over here, that I'm meeting with her later on today. We work a lot with our veterans, helping them with their benefits when our VSOs are struggling or trying to help them, which she does an amazing job, by the way. We work very well together. We also work, a lot of immigration will come into our offices. We're working with them, helping them, the challenges that they have trying to get family members here or maybe going back and coming, going home to visit and coming back. So we do what's called casework. Anything that you ever get, this is why I share, if you have anyone that comes in or a constituent comes in and they want, a small business. I have a business owner who called me the other day and he has to pay off his, I believe it's the EIDL loan, all of these acronyms from the COVID time. So I put him in touch with SBA, anything federally related and more. We get a lot of people who call it sometimes just need a listening ear and we're there. I will say that we pride ourselves in Grassley's office, doing casework. I hear it whenever I'm out and about for the last 7 years. And also answering phones. We answer our phones. So any questions that you guys have, and I'll leave my cards with you today, but I like to come to the supervisors meetings just to share because I think a lot of folks just don't know exactly what we do in our offices. And we are busy and my schedule would account for my busyness. So thank you for letting me.
How many representatives like you does he have?
Kevin, we have 6 offices and then our state director. And so we travel, I go all the way down to Oskaloosa and I travel up to Alameda. I have 14 counties. And Penny she's Jackson in that area, Clinton, and she has been with them for 30 years. So we've got Des Moines, Waterloo, Council Bluffs, Sioux City, and Cedar Rapids, which is where I work out of. So try to attend the COG meetings, get to know what's going on, try to attend the supervisors meetings, and just keep him apprised of what's going on, the good, the bad, and the challenging. Something fun the other day, Oskaloosa had the baseball team was invited to Wrigley Field, so I shared that with Senator and he did a floor speech on it yesterday, which was kind of cool. So just, it's the good stuff too, which is really nice.
It's kind of impressive how as much stuff he has to keep track of.
I think that's why he has us. So I always say I know a little bit about a lot of things. And if I can't find out, I will do my best to get that. State senators reach out to me all the time. I work with everybody and they will let you know in Johnson County that they reach out to me and they hear from me right away. I work with a lot of people here in your Iowa County and
So if we have issues, we can contact you.
Contact me and I'll do my best. Our job is to connect and to connect the resources and do our best to find out if we can't. And again, be that listening ear. And again, if I didn't say it already, Jenny does an amazing job here for you guys in Iowa County and further. So any other questions?
Well, just in case the Senator's a Cardinal fan,
Okay.
Williamsburg's playing at St. Louis at their stadium.
Are they?
in June.
Oh, that's neat. Yeah, and I think their recess in June is really wonky because of that new holiday. So they're not going to have a long recess. Maybe we have a week. And then August, they're always out and he's always working and finishing up. Hopefully the 90 counties at that time. So, okay. Thank you for sharing that.
Well, if you ever have any federal money, we need a couple bridges.
That's all? Okay.
We got a huge bridge here in Iowa County.
Well,
So whatever comes, appropriations time.
The one north of Marengo.
You might have drove over it coming.
I know which ones you're speaking of. Yeah.
I don't know how long before that one. We're one of the few, I think, in the state that have
Two, I think.
We have two that they go across the Iowa River that are state bridges.
Well, I've not been able to cross over here. My maps brought me this way, so I was like, oh, it must be clear today. I usually go the opposite way, but I know he was. I can't tell you what year it was. He voted on the infrastructure bill, which brought a lot of bridges and money to roads and such. So we're still seeing, as roads go, still that will be for years, but able to see some of the bridges. But thank you for asking that. Yes.
It's a major project.
Well, and if I'm driving with him, which we don't often right now because he's president pro tem now, so we have to have detail. It's just, he has to,
That's
there's
gotta be
no choice in the matter.
That makes things more interesting, right?
It's very interesting, yes. So I don't drive with him as much. I usually meet him, but I had a little conversation with him. We were getting near to Chelsea one day and I tried to correct him in the directions. I thought, what the heck am I thinking? Oh my gosh, I apologize. So anyhow, so thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay, let's drop down below liquor license. We have transfer for the correction. Amendment to the liquor license for mail. Is there a motion?
Make a motion to approve.
Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Right.
Opposed, say nay. Motion approved. Pioneer Cemetery appointments, we had the one appointed, but I don't think that, unless somebody knew at one time, Abby said he'd stay on. Unless we found somebody else, but we'll clarify that next week. Sumner County FY 26 salary certification consideration. Questions, concerns? Just need a motion here. Yeah.
To approve it. I'll make a motion to approve the salary certification.
I'll second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, say nay. Motion approved. Number 9, the main and Manna parking concern considerations. I think we should wait until Nick gets here to discuss that more. Unless you guys have something else you want to say now.
Yeah, I think we let her know that we would probably be making a motion on it next week.
Correct.
And we told her that we'd brief her on what we would discuss this week.
I think she's coming on the 3rd.
Is that when we decided to put it on?
Hopefully she'll be available next week.
Yeah, so we're just gonna leave this on the agenda until then. But if anybody has any comments, we can talk about it.
I talked to, some of the board members, for Amana, and, it seemed like their feelings were the 15-minute sign sounded like a good idea.
We're just discussing the bus parking.
Oh, have we? Is it next week you're not gonna be here?
Correct. Yep. What do you want to sign?
Yeah.
Maybe below that, I'll put like 30 minutes max or something.
Yeah, I think we need a time.
15-minute
Yeah, I
max.
think 15 minutes would be good.
I just want to make sure that everyone's supposed to be back on the bus by 2:30, whatever it is, that the bus can pull up at 2:20 or whatever. And they have any stragglers, 2:35.
Yeah, because I'm afraid if you just went like this, that doesn't really tell them they have to leave.
I'm loading here. I'm still loading.
Yeah.
Correct. I just didn't want to put too much on the sign, so I'd probably put another like little one below it. It says 20, 30 minutes max. whatever it is.
So if I talk to her, our general consensus is there is gonna be a sign,
Yeah,
and we're gonna discuss it next week.
with that time limit.
I would say just a change of sign, one that is more,
Decisive.
yeah.
You need 3 of them, right? There's 3 of them?
Yeah.
3 of them come up. Where'd you find the picture of the bus?
Made it.
Is that the one you used to write on?
Chat GPT.
Looks kind of short.
I was discussing with the board
Look old.
about it, and they said they appreciate your attention to detail to make the signage like you're making it, so.
Yeah, I went to Street View and, or Google Maps, Street View, took a picture of the parking signs and described to Chat GPT what it was and what I wanted the new one to say or look like, and spit this out in a matter of seconds, so. Pretty cool. Yeah. What do you want so I'll wait a couple of weeks until you guys talk to her and everything, but yeah, decide a time if you want, 15, 20, 30 minutes or whatever. I think 20 is a good.
I think we'll probably be ready to make a decision next week, won't we?
Yeah, but I don't think she's gonna be here until then. She
Oh,
wants to be here.
30th.
okay,
She was ready.
Be here.
so we'll make the decision on the 30th.
Yeah, I'll make sure we respect that she
Okay.
wants to be here.
All right. Did you want me to talk to her then before that?
That's fine. Let her know.
Okay.
And I would tell her, it's not like we're adding signs to inconvenience. We're just putting up different signs to make it more obvious. But, all right, so the first thing I have, I know that they have a Renaissance fair. In middle of Manna, looks like May 24th through 26th. And then again on May 31 through June 1st. So I know last year you guys did a resolution for voting, that nobody parks over in front of the fire station. So I was working with one of the coordinators, to make sure that there were no parking signs up on 27th Avenue, which is out in front of the park. But if there's no parking there, I would assume that they would want the no parking in front of the fire station. I haven't talked to anybody about it, but,
Didn't Steve Rose request that the last time for voting?
I don't remember.
Either be him or Chris or.
And then I thought you actually gave them the signs, they were gonna put them up now.
Correct.
Yeah, they kept them, right? Yeah.
So, the first page there is the resolution. The second page shows the dates. So I don't know if you just wanna write the resolution to start for both weekends. You know, I'd say maybe start Friday night at like 6 PM. And then end it, Friday night, the 23rd at 6 PM, end at 6 PM on the 26th. And then also comma on doing the next one for the next weekend. But that's up to you guys.
Yeah.
So the 23rd, 6 PM to the 26th,
Need a number.
is that 6 PM?
Yeah, I would say.
And then what are the other dates?
Then I think it's May
The
31st and June 1st, so maybe the 30th again to 6 PM on the 1st, because I think it would be done on that Sunday night.
Do those dates have to be on the resolution or we just?
I have a spot on the resolution for the dates.
I'll make a motion.
Just wait a second, get a resolution number.
Oh,
Or you can do two different resolutions.
They're so close together, I'd just do it.
That's fine, that's fine.
then you'll get with the fire department.
I'll email them today when I get back.
I don't know if the parking gets all the way up there, but it's
Well-
good just to avoid it in case.
Yeah, so now that they don't want anybody parking on 27th, that will be one of the closest spots to park.
After the park fills up.
Yeah, after the park, and then, that will be one of the closest spots. They are running shuttles over to, Main and the RV campground. So, I told them for the shuttles that they should use the bus stops. Cause one of their stops was gonna be on Main Street there.
There's bus stops and also in Meadow too.
So they're gonna run them right over the fair, I think. I believe that's their plan.
Okay, now, John, you're making a resolution for 2025-05-16 or the Renaissance Fair. No parking for the 2 weekends.
Yeah, for the dates would be, the motion to approve that resolution, and the dates would be May 23rd at 6 PM to May 26th, 6 PM, and May 30th to June 1st, 6 PM to June 1st, 6 PM.
I'll second that.
All in favor, say aye.
Right.
Opposed, say nay. Resolution approved.
May
30th through the 31st.
June 1st.
All right, not a lot, for construction for what we've hired out, but, what's that? Yeah, it goes again on the 31st, but if they get out there on the 30th and put them up that night, that way, that way they can just go out at the end of the night and put them up and be ready for the next morning.
So we're letting the parking longer than the festival.
Are you putting it October next year?
No,
All right.
just the spring.
So our guys, we got the box set on Tuesday. 14 by 14, very big box. I didn't bring any pictures, but yeah, everything went in everything went in well, and we won, for the headers yesterday, and should be starting to backfill today.
Where's that one at?
That's on 150th Street, just east of C Avenue. Yeah, yeah.
What's all the little stakes on B52?
Those are probably for the curve, the super elevations. So when they come by with the pavers, they'll
Yeah, 'cause I see they get tighter there, they get closer together in the curves and.
I assume that they have stuff written on
I'm not, about punctured a tire.
them. Driving over those?
I didn't mean to. I'm not the first one. There's other one broke.
No. All right, no, I know your address, I'll send them over
It's a piece of wood, I think, or outside my building, I popped my tire.
there. You went off past the shoulder into the.
No, they're telling us to put little stakes on the side of the road.
Yeah, the lies.
Yeah. There's all kinds of them.
Tires on the road.
Yeah.
It was coming out, it was on the side of my driveway. My trailer hooked up just like I normally did, I looked back, I said, oh, that's. Didn't pop my tire.
So yeah, we're doing a bunch of box stuff out there, got a pretty good sized crew going. Stockpile rock, we sent a lot of rock to, the yard site, Millersburg and Parnell. Some of the guys were working on the bridge deck, and, some of the guys were still, shouldering with the graders and stuff, and we're spot rocking today. The office goes, I did the 107 report for that bridge on 150th. Our guys did, the techs did a good job this week surveying. They got 2 different surveys done. I do want to take down, it's been pretty dry. So we did the road embargoes for the seal coats back in March. The 90 days, which is the max you can do by law, is in the middle of June. I say we just go ahead and take them down. So I just wanted to run that by you guys. They did finish up the chip sealing on the Lake Road. That looks pretty good. And they went over to 265th then, and they're starting that. And then,
Is that the one he's doing himself, right?
265th, that would be the Wolfman.
And Parnell's after that, probably.
You like our name on bridges, it's we have school bridge, Wolfman's.
Green, these are green.
I believe that's where they're going. I'm not for sure. Because they said, well, they could go down to North English and do theirs, but I don't know if they meant North English and Parnell.
265th, did he build it? Did they build it way up, like they talked about? Do you know?
I was out there Wednesday afternoon. They were grading and putting them on.
I think they're still putting down rock, the way I looked yesterday, there was a lot of dust coming off that road.
So is it, I mean,
They closed the road right now, yeah.
Well, it should say close to through traffic. Helen didn't have those signs, so it just, they're staggered. You can get through.
You can get through if someone needed to.
Yeah, and all signs will be down for the weekend. I know there's a graduation party there, so all signs will be down for the weekend. Is what I was told.
Okay.
And then, those signs minimum, can I go ahead and pull those the parking signs for the private property then? The one out in front of the Ronenberg,
Oh, yeah.
I can pull those. I'll leave the rest of them until somebody.
We're saving, but we're just saving those for not a location.
Was it the Ronneberg or the auction?
thought it was the auction.
Was the auction been around?
No, I think it was around.
It was around Bird.
The Oxyoke sign. No, maybe it was the Oxyoke.
I think it was the auction, you
Yeah.
had a sign, you showed us the sign in front of the Ronneberg, but
Yeah.
I think the auction.
Retail at Oxyoke.
It's around Bird, you showed us a picture of.
Sorry, that was
It's right there.
That was the best one I could get a picture of for the.
Maybe that's the sign that's pointing towards the auction.
No, there is more signs to that. So I'll get those pulled, early next week. So, and then I will, we'll work on, I'll get a description for, you guys want to make that A Avenue? You didn't want to vacate it, you want to make it level B, is that correct? Over north of,
I'd be about vacating it.
Which road is that?
That one that goes to the,
Over by Victor.
goes to the abandoned bridge.
Oh. That part of the road, or, Victor, the city of Victor.
I leave level B.
it's up to you guys. Level B just requires a resolution. It's already, looks like a level B where you just put up signs. Vacation isn't really that hard, but you'll have to do a public hearing. We'll send out certified letters in public hearing, but it doesn't matter to me.
And it's already technically a level B the way how we're treating it.
How we're treating it.
I would just say, I would make it an official level B.
Yeah, I'll do whatever you want. It doesn't matter to me.
But then when we make a level B, we need to have, you said clear signs on the bridge, right?
I would even though I don't know where exact, the road goes south and then it goes west. And that west part doesn't show up on our maps
Okay.
as us. But I would go down to the bridge if you guys are okay with it and put in permanent posts to just say road closed.
Yeah.
That will be the safest, even though I don't technically know, and I don't think Victor would either. Because we're right on that,
Yeah.
right on the line. But
I
that was,
think they're gonna care if we put.
I doubt it. It would only make the people mad that drive across it.
Right.
So if you guys are okay with that, I'll go do that too.
And are people going to still cross with their 4-wheelers or whatever, even close it?
Well, we would put it up so that they can't.
I think that's best. We do that, tear the bridge out.
It's safest, I mean,
Whose bridge is it?
Victor's.
So maybe communicate with Victor on it, maybe?
Possibly,
Let them know.
possibly. Yeah, I know a few weeks, like, they had their UTV ride, they had it built up on both ends, so you couldn't get across. Somebody moved the dirt, and then they had their UTV right across it. So. So, level B or vacate, what do you want me to get the paperwork ready for?
I said, well, I gave my opinions.
You're a vacate, right?
Yep.
I'm a level B.
I'm okay with it being a level B as long as the bridge, or, the liability's off. Yeah,
Signs up.
I guess it's their bridge anyways, but
I really don't have an opinion, but if it's our road and we put the sign up there, I think that's gonna stop our liability from people going over the bridge.
Hopefully.
I'd go level B. Just-
Okay, because it doesn't
I
matter,
really don't
I
have an
just,
opinion on
The
it.
it's
consensus,
just different paperwork.
consensus is a B. Okay, any other questions for Nick?
Do you want this signed, or you just keep it in here?
I took a picture on my phone.
Oh, okay, whatever you want.
Yeah, Nick, I have a question from a citizen. Do we have GIS database tracking of our assets for the county, like the bridges and the box structures and information system?
The DOT has, their SIMS, which is all the bridges and all the information on there. On the Service Bureau, that's where all the signs are at, it's updated. I also have smaller maps in our office that show where bridges are less than 20 feet. You can also find on the state website, all the paved road, all the classification of the roads and their surfaces. I give reports on the widths and shoulder widths on all of them, and that, but I don't think that's posted.
Okay, thank you. I'm just curious about the system, you know, whenever we're doing all of our, or any assets that we have,
So
what
that's,
those resources were.
that's that 107 report that I was doing this week, that bridge on 150th. It used to be a bridge for the DOT, but now it's a large box culvert, so it's less than 20 feet in length. So now it's, the 107 report, I tell the state that it is no longer a bridge and they can take it off their system. But yeah, those are all kept on a program called SIMS.
Okay, thank you.
Were you able to use the Ranger from the sheriff? I mean, have your guys been able to use that? Or?
So we'll start that again on the 27th, that project, and yes, we're gonna, Josh is gonna let us use that and see how it goes. I think we're gonna park it in the Millersburg shed at.
Almost everybody understands where it's at.
Yep.
What you gonna do?
We're gonna borrow, Josh Humphrey's UTV for our project inspection on H Avenue.
Instead of buying one.
And then maybe next, we'll talk about next year later. We can borrow it again, because it'd be the same spot. Go in the other direction. But
Okay.
that's if we make them happy this year.
Anything else? When you're gone next week.
Yes, it's a holiday.
It is?
You
guys get
Voting holiday, every day.
Sir. All right, you guys have a good weekend.
You do next.
Have a good weekend. Hey, Adam.
It's good.
Perfect timing.
Right in perfect.
Thank you, sir.
I'm gonna pass around these dead tallies too.
Should I go get the next ambulance? I'm gonna drive it back.
Sorry, Seth. That's all right.
Don't worry, we can get up a couple of days. It was so much fun with it.
What was the last?
You just have to keep the lights on. You just gotta keep the lights on.
I thought
268,000.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Super sensitive.
Sticker shock.
That's what I.
And, well, I'll get there. We'll
Yeah.
do it.
Yeah.
We're gonna reuse the cot. You just want the cot mount. The load system that loads the cot. We're gonna actually reuse the cot, which is like $35,000 cot. And it's still, yeah, I'll start with.
Yeah.
So my May report here, April, we had 156 total responses. Of those, 107 were transports, 49 refusals. For the fiscal year.
That's a lot of refusals, though. Yeah.
Yeah, we had a lot of refusals. It kind of varies. For the year, we're running a little bit lower than last year, 1,579 responses, so 157, almost 158 calls per month compared to 161 per month last year. Transports average 121 per month and average 38 refusals. It's been, call volume's been a little bit more manageable last few months. I shouldn't talk about it. 29 times both ambulances were out at the same time. 6 of those times we were able to staff an extra ambulance. 2 of those times we had to request a out-of-county ambulance to cover costs. And we had 21 of our calls were transfers out of Compass. On our finance side, April actual expenses, $147,501 compared to our monthly budget of $211,182. So we had a decent month on expenses. Year-to-date actual expenses, $2,063,010 compared to a year-to-date budget of $2,111,823. So for the year-to-date, we finally came back within the budget after spreading the cost of that last ambulance out. So we're sitting at $48,813 under budget, so we should make it, I think, to the year. Okay. April revenue, $106,371. Year-to-date actual revenue, $1,076,057 compared to year-to-date budget revenue of $932,083. So revenue is up $143,974 compared to budget. So actual difference between expenses and revenue is sitting at $986,953 compared to a budgeted difference between expenses and revenue of $1,179,740. So actually, our cost variance right now is positive $192,787. So we're all good on the ambulance finance situation for fiscal year 25. Our year-to-date average charge for transport, $1,222.27 compared to average revenue we received for transport of $810.70. Our average cost per response, $1,306. Our cost, if you break it down by billable, call is $1,723. Satisfaction, I believe I sent surveys out, included you guys on those. 97% is our average for the year. Activities, just our normal daily activities, preparedness meetings, there's executive board, health code coalition meeting was held in person on May 6th out in Muscatine. I did not go. We're out in Muscatine, it was an all-day meeting that was going to be mostly hospital, public health, and a little bit of EMS. So, we'll attend the EMS collaboration meeting on the 21st. I'm doing a lot of CPR classes, a lot of coaches this time of year that aren't teachers that, hey, my CPR needs stuff. Our April training this month that we're going to be doing cardiogenic shock and practicing on our IV pumps. Next week is EMS week, or National EMS week. Usually we'd have a meeting and a cookout, but our meeting is scheduled for the week after. So we'll do the cookout the next week. I did meet with Dr. Kinker again and got most of his paperwork in order, and he has applied for his, it's called the CSA, Controlled Substance Agreement, I think it's called, with the state of Iowa, that he has to have. He already has that, but he has to have one for the ambulance as well. As soon as that gets done, then he has to apply for a DEA registration, again, with the ambulance address on that as well. We're gonna have a crew meeting next Wednesday, or 2 weeks, on May 28th. That'll probably be Dr. Mom's last really meeting with our crew. We're actually gonna have a crew meeting at like 11:15, and then Dr. Mom's coming in, so we can have a little meeting with him and just thank him for all his 33 years of service, I think. There's just been exercise planning going on for all these disaster active shooter. Kinsey exercise is going to be on June 25th, and we want Victor at HLB on October 22nd, and then we're going to try to sponsor a blood drive. So we're going to work with Public Health on that on July 22nd. I forget the name of the people that come out and do the blood. They pay for all the advertising. They just kind of ask us to help recruit people, so we're going to probably use the fair.
The exercise thing, are we allowed to watch that? Is that
I
right?
think so. Yeah.
Ask Josh or not you?
Yeah, Josh would be the guy, but I
I'm
mean,
just be interested to see how that all works out.
Yeah.
I think Kinsey would be a major undertaking with all the places.
yeah, I think they're, I've missed some of those because I've been gone, but I think they're going to
I
continue.
went to the one in regular.
When you watch that.
Well, I
But you
got
participated.
called right before it started, but I went to the pre-setup when they were getting ready to go. And
But yeah, I think he can give you a vest and you can
Yeah.
watch his.
they give you an observer vest, like it
Yeah.
says.
Yeah.
You have to report in.
Yeah, no, I think it'd actually be good to have and see what's going on out
That's
there.
new. Yeah. I'm just interested in how it works out, and how everybody works together.
It had regardless of the exercise, that has been the best part of it, is everybody working together, kind of getting to know each other, because a lot of my help don't even live in the area. So I might know all these people, these firemen, but they don't necessarily, so it's really good for that aspect of it. Equipment, everything's been normal right now. We had to replace the siren, replace an inverter. Those got done the same day. We got new bids for the new ambulance. I'll go over here in a minute. I think I talked about this last time, but Windows 10 is no longer supported in October. So we're replacing, I think, 5 computers. So we have enough money in the budget to replace now. That were not upgradable. So we're gonna get that taken care of with Crush IT. Personnel, I'll be out of the office next Tuesday, Wednesday, and then I'll be gone for 2 weeks, starting June 2nd through the 16th. So just want to let you guys know that. And
When you replace the computers, do you have a way of destroying the old ones and
he takes them.
if you have to worry about the hard drive, it's sensitive?
Well, it's all on the cloud,
Okay,
so there's nothing on the hard drive. There's nothing
that
left.
actual computer.
Okay. I mean, there's gonna be a little bit, I suppose, to save on your desktop and stuff, but Jake takes them back with him, and I assume he.
Just make sure you're
No,
noted.
Yeah, that's the arrangement we've had. Otherwise, I get a stack of computers in a closet, and then someday we decide that, oh, we should clean out this closet, so that's how we can do it.
Okay.
Yeah, I just let him order them. I tried to order one once, and he wasn't happy with what I ordered, so he just ordered everything. I just sent it back, so. We do have, Shane and his wife Hannah just had their baby Thursday, so we got 2 more babies coming. So that's just a staffing thing, busy with. Safety wise, routine stuff there. We did have one minor injury on the ambulance. One of the gals was climbing out of the ambulance, just was in there doing regular checkout and stuff. Tripped kind of over the cot or something, went to grab herself on a grab bar and didn't actually fall, but ended up dislocating her thumb in the process of saving her from the fall. So we did have to send her to the clinic, and she was able to come back to work with a little splint on her thumb. And then I am, for safety wise, Abby's not here, but she met with me and we discussed trying to develop some kind of process for reporting safety concerns. If somebody saw something or kind of concerns, but that's a work in progress. I haven't got a lot. I saw that because it is on my agenda to work on. I don't have nothing on HIPAA. Everything's good there. I think, is that Brandy back there?
Yep.
I think Sarah did attend a class, right, on HIPAA?
No.
She did not, you want to do that, okay, never mind then. But they offer free training. I think that each county gets a few slots, so if anybody ever wants, I don't know, I shouldn't say that, but yeah, anybody's interested in learning more about that, there's always free training. That's all I have on my regular stuff. And then I don't know, good news and bad news is talk about this next ambulance purchase. So right now, everything is at least 2 years out. We normally get an ambulance every 2 years. So that we were planning on ordering this for the fiscal year 27 budget. So timing wise, I think we can make it work. Our specification, the only thing we changed was our cot system. There's a portion inside the truck called the power load part that loads the cot, and then there's a cot itself, which is powered up and down when it's out. We were gonna reuse the cot, but the power load in the truck we're trading in has given us some problems, and we changed batteries, had it worked on. It's just kind of got a ghost problem so we didn't really want to change it over. We wanted to replace that, but we're going to try and reuse the cot. save some money. Thought the prices have increased significantly in 2 years. Our low bid was from Legacy Emergency Vehicles. It used to be Clucky's, but Legacy has taken over Iowa for them. Manufacturer's Lifeline, which we have 3 Lifelines. Majority of the years we've had Lifeline ambulances. They're the only ones built in Iowa and Sumner, Iowa. That one company kind of gave me a shocker there when they came through with the base price at $278. I was like, that's way off the others. So once I started research, I ended up calling that guy and be like, did you include that cot mount in there? No, I thought you guys could do that yourself. Yeah, no, it needs to be included in there. So that changed things there drastically, and it worked out. We prefer to stay with Lifeline. When everything's apples to apples, they came up with a little bit. It's $308,025.
I'd rather go down to Florida.
What's that?
I'd rather go to the Florida.
You want it?
How's that price compared to the last ambulance you bought?
The last ambulance with trade-in was $268,000 with a complete cot system though, and a cot. So I thought we'd save $35,000-$40,000 by reusing the cot. Well, we probably did, but it's just jumped that much.
So does this price include trade-in or not?
Yes.
Oh, it does, okay.
What did they give you for a trade on an old ambulance? Just curious.
Legacy has given us $19,500, I believe. Yeah, 19. Actually, I have it here to sign. If you guys approve that. I have some exceptions. Some of the other ones had exceptions too. But I'm not gonna go through all those. Some of them didn't even break it down. A couple of them didn't even break down. Right. Oh, here, I did break it down. Legacy was giving us 19,500, American Response Vehicles 1,000, North Central 10,700, and Fuel Fire did not specify a trade-in value. Legacy didn't want it. Yeah.
How many miles will the next one, if you were to guess, will have on it when we get rid of it?
Well,
And it's hard to guess.
probably close, but under 200, I would say 180 to 200 probably. If we can keep that engine running in that one, so that's other concern.
Is it a piece?
I believe it's a V8. It's that F550 that has that. It's losing compression and.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, so that's 2 more years.
Yeah,
But it's back up, right?
yeah, it's back up.
But still.
Yeah, so when we get, when we get an oil change, we use it for a couple hours.
Did you see these, Chris? No. It was in his email earlier this week.
Oh, yeah. Anyway, beyond that quote, I kicked it around before, the EMS Essential Service Levy. But as these costs of this equipment goes up and the way budgets are at counties and cities, and we may have to seriously look at that.
We don't need to make a motion on this until we get the approved.
Right, I'll
Right.
email them today, this Jeff Edgar, and have him start working on it.
Okay.
Because do you want him, he should change everything, correct?
I think so. So we need to match it.
Right, okay.
And also ask them if they can highlight the differences. Does that make sense? When they change it, so we know what we did change. Sometimes it doesn't stick out as a red flag to us.
Right.
Okay, can we go on? Sheriff's request policy change to allow dispatch 12-hour shift considerations. I'd rather not. Folks, did anyone get on this? This is where Abby wanted to get discussion on.
Yeah.
I was going to bypass that. That's the one thing she wanted to talk about. We can skip down until we get hold of her. Solutions Incorporated revised license support agreement for FY26 consideration.
And it's just a revision of what has already been approved.
Because of the clerical errors.
Yeah, they had some grammar errors,
Is there a motion for,
numbers and.
Chair to
did not
sign.
change at all.
I'll make the motion.
is there a second?
Second.
All in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed, say nay. Motion approved. 28E agreement for law enforcement between Iowa County and City of Parnell. Give that too. Is there a motion to approve that?
I'll make a motion to approve that.
I'll second that.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, say nay. Motion approved. You'll be honest, yeah, I'll just take breaks for you. I'm just gonna go highlight this sign.
We'll just have to reprint it downstairs.
Alright.
Somewhere.
Corrective transfer from fund.
Oh, you can take that one, that would be done.
Okay, you did.
It was just too late to remove it,
That-
so we don't need to do that one.
Okay. Retransfer from fund 24,000 to 1,000 consideration.
I'll make the motion to transfer that.
All, is there a second?
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, say nay. Motion approved.
All that is, Seth, all that is,
What?
it's a conservation, they pay it every year, and just transfers
To the.
to conservation board, yeah.
And it's for 11,500.
That stays pretty much the same about every year too.
Come and go cigarette permit consideration. Doing business as changing due to rebranding. I believe they're coming Maverick now. Is there a motion?
I'll make a motion to approve that.
Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, say nay. Motion approved. Do you comment yet?
Is it stepping out for reading? Did you have your scans?
Arnold? I don't remember seeing it.
I have it live.
There's a page before, I was supposed to sign that too.
Yeah.
So am I the customer? So it says customer.
Good morning. All right, I'm gonna put you on speaker. Okay, having this on.
Hello, everyone.
Oh, hello. Okay, so we are on to discuss the 12-hour dispatch shift consideration. And you wanted to have comments, so you're on.
Okay, well, okay, so just starting, I just want to go back to the beginning, because number one, I agree, we should change policy to accommodate individual employees. Like, that's even a topic that was discussed here yesterday, because I just opened the deal for liability when you don't do it for somebody else. And so, in general, I'm not in favor of changing any of our policies, except for if we change our sick leave donation policy to match the state. Which means we would change it from donating sick time to vacation time. And that's,
We discussed that already, and we're gonna send that to Ehlers to sure we can make that work.
well, I did email, did I just forward you guys the response?
Yeah,
I thought I did, didn't you get it?
I don't remember getting it.
I can,
Yeah.
what I was gonna do, Abby, is just email them to ask them to start writing it.
Okay, yeah, that's fine.
Okay, so,
And just revise ours to match up to what the state's policy is.
And I think that we should do that because, I mean, if we think about liability and just like being able to defend our decision on this, I think it's better to match the state because that's an easy, obviously that's a sound policy and it's an easy defense to say that we were matching theirs.
okay, so let's go back down to the differential shift, 12-hour shifts.
Yes, so once again, this is a 24/7 operation, this department is. It's not a one-man show where it won't affect other employees because, it'd be different if we had somebody like, let's say Jenny Olson or somebody that's a single person department and she wants to work for 12 hours. Although I don't know what makes you reasonable, but, it wouldn't affect other employees. If we make one person 12-hour shift, it is going to affect the other employees and their shifts. And I don't really want to go to 12 hours. I will, number one, do all the dispatchers want to go to a 12-hour shift. I'm not sure, but even if they did, I don't know that I want to do that either, just because of the nightmare it's been with the auditor's office and the sheriff's deputies.
Other board members' comments, concerns?
well, I looked it over and I have a different opinion, I guess, but, it's, he's saying that it would match what the union said, hour accommodates are for their 8, 10, and 12-hour shift. So I guess I don't have a problem with it, but, and for the purpose, because this is shift work, and it is a different shift than our normal employees have. They're 24/7. I guess I just thought the supervisor can make it work. It's up to their department, but I'm willing to support whatever the board decides.
Do we know, is he saying that we're gonna move them all to 12-hour shifts or just his employee? If that wasn't clear.
Maybe we should have him come in next week,
Well, I think they want to get it moving as fast as they can, but
so we would make a better opinion if he was here to answer questions like that.
do you agree, Abby?
To have the sheriff come in?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I think we should, but once again, I personally probably would be in favor of it either way, but that's me. But if you guys want to bring him in to get this clarified, or if you want to call him, I'm good with that too.
We're calling right now too.
Calm down.
Yeah. John's gonna try to call him.
Okay.
What happens? Change everybody to 12-hour shift, wouldn't they?
I don't think so. So I don't know how you can make it work otherwise.
Right.
Keep 40 hours a week, shouldn't it? It doesn't work out like this.
Hey, Rob, I don't know if you're watching the meeting, but we had some questions on this 12-hour shift consideration. Would you be willing to go on speakerphone here and answer them? Okay, put you on speaker. Okay, Abby, Rob's on now.
Okay. Do you guys want to ask him a question?
What was your question again? It was,
It affects us as much as it does her.
Is it gonna cause, I assume, I mean, my assumption would be that it will cause overtime, more overtime for the others. I don't know how it wouldn't. Is that correct?
Yeah, exactly. We're having to, with her gone completely, which is what we were first facing, there was no question we were gonna have overtime.
Well, even with the 12 hours, you're gonna have overtime to make up the difference, won't you?
not as much, the way it sounds to me.
No, because we're getting 36 hours a week out of her where we might not have been getting any.
Or 30, yeah, or 10. I see the point there.
I mean, it's a hard, I think, Rob, I hope you understand, it's hard to, like, I understand, and I feel bad for the situation that's going on. And I don't want you to be left high and dry either, but I also don't want to make an exception here and then have another employee request it for not as good of a reason and then explain to them why they don't get it.
No, and that's really not what I'm asking. I think what we need to do, not just for this, but just going in the future, all of our folks here have, well, at one time in the old union contract, we accommodated 8, 10, and 12. And for some reason, when we wrote the language for the replacement policies for the handbook, we weren't doing 12s, and it just got left behind. It used to be a thing here, and it just wasn't being done at that time, and that's why it was left out. So I don't think we should do this as a function of taking care of this one problem. I think it's something that we just need to do just going forward, of having that 8, 10, and 12 in both patrol, jail, and dispatch, because there may be a day that it just makes sense to go that way, and we don't have to deal with it then. It'll be something that we have available.
Why did they stop doing
I think the dispatchers do 12s at one time?
No, we had in our contract, the old Teamster contract, we had the 8, 10, and 12.
Because everybody was in that contract.
At one time they were,
Yeah,
yes.
that's why.
But we've fallen away from it, and so I think when we were rewriting things, we just really didn't think about it because it wasn't something we were doing. And then when they did the contract, the new contract with the deputies, it got it added back in again, and it's been very popular.
So if I understand correctly, Rob, the request that you have right now is the ability to put anybody on 12s.
Yeah, I think that makes sense, because it is a very well functioning schedule when it works. It doesn't always work though, because it takes a certain number of people to make it work. And right now we don't have that, but maybe someday in the future we would, I don't know, but it does make sense. And it's been very, very well received on the patrol side. And, maybe someday in the future years, it could be years down the road, but it might be something that works in both jail and dispatch as well.
Well, I mean,
Ultimately,
so
the
to be
contract will
honest,
say that, the scheduling is ultimately up to the sheriff. So somebody can't just say, well, I want to work 12. That's never an option. That's only with the approval of the sheriff. And right now, the only ones that are approved are the patrol division.
so, I mean, the reality is, I think this is your decision to make anyways. If, the sheriff decides on the schedule, and it probably needs to be changed in your contract, your dispatcher contract. And that's not something that the board really handles, is it?
Yeah, we don't have a dispatch contract though, so we used to, but they're no longer in the
Okay, oh.
union. So we came up with the replacement policies that sort of mimicked what the contract once said. Because the handbook was basically written, it was very, very much attuned to Monday through Friday, 8 to 4:30. And so we brought this language into the handbook as an addendum to basically mimic what had been done in the past. So so the jailers and the dispatchers are not part of a contract.
Do you have a separate handbook from like our general county one for these?
Yeah, it was approved by the board, right at the end of the Teamster contract. Gosh, I don't know what year it would have been. And that's been the addendum to the handbook ever since. I can send that to
So
you.
what we have to do is run it by Ayers for sure. And what exactly we would have to change for a policy for this to even happen.
Right. I don't know I don't think it would be very difficult. It's just a matter of, right now, it just says 8 and 10. When in the past it said 8, 10, and 12. That was the only difference in the language. And then it still says exactly what it says in the addendum to the handbook and in the union contract, that ultimately the scheduling is with approval of the sheriff. So nobody can just claim that this is the shift they're gonna work. It has to be assigned by the sheriff.
So does the board want to proceed with going to Ayers to have this policy?
Yeah, Ehlers had looked at the policy as it is now, the addendum, and approved it years ago. So the only thing we're doing to that policy is adding the number 12.
Yes.
Yeah.
So in your separate policy book, the board of supervisor needs to approve all that, even though it's under your jurisdiction, the hours work?
We did that because it was considered to be a payroll issue, because payroll was affected. And so that's why it went to the handbook.
Okay, I just want to make sure we're not like stepping on some of your authority.
No, I think it was just because it was a payroll issue, a human resources issue that the auditor deals with. That's why it was part of a board decision.
Okay, so what is the consensus of the board? Do they want to know?
Like we said before, I'm still amazed that it hadn't come up before, because we've had that policy for a long time and it's just never been a thing.
Okay, is there anything else? Okay,
All right, thanks, Rob.
thank you.
All right.
Have a good
Thank you.
weekend.
Have a great weekend.
Yeah, back.
All right, how do you want to stay on?
What do you guys got next? Let's just pull up the agenda.
So we're done.
We're ready to adjourn. Make a motion to
Are you
adjourn.
done?
We saved this to the end.
Wow. Dang, you guys are efficient.
See what happens when we got somebody missing. I guess we know who the talker is now.
Yeah.
Is there anything that for next week's agenda that we're aware of?
I sent you guys that email from, what's his name, Dover.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
From who? Oh, yeah.
Do you guys want me to send that to the county attorney first, or do you want to see what he says and you just want to entertain it?
I sent it to the attorney yesterday.
Okay,
Oh, you did. Randy did.
okay, yeah,
Obviously, I don't email anybody because it doesn't work.
I have some mixed feelings about it so far, but I think, I don't know, so one other thing is, do we want to have Tim at the meeting when he's there to help explain, like, ramifications or like application?
I think so. Feel better, personally.
We should have one of them.
We're not gonna approve it in 1 week anyways, because we're gonna take 2 weeks, and But I think somebody should ask Tim to be there.
We can approve an ordinance in 1 week.
I thought we had to, do a hearing for ordinances.
But you can waive all the second,
You're not
third
selling
reading.
posting function.
Yeah,
Yeah. So
yeah, I think we,
anyways, but will somebody ask Tim or Tim to come?
yeah.
What time do you have them down for, Brandy, so I can know?
You don't have to do that.
I don't have it done yet.
Okay,
I think we're waiting for Dilly to get a hold of Brandy.
okay,
Not Dilly, Dozar.
okay,
Because I left an email with him to get a hold of Brandy to set up the time, to make sure it works for both of them.
okay.
You know, we just need to notify one of the Tims of what time it is when he make it work. Our Tims, Dilly or Lou Junior.
Okay,
Anything else?
I don't have anything for next week.
And Nick's gone next week.
How did the Amanda thing turn out, the continued discussion part?
It's,
Well, I can send you the picture here.
Nick made up sides and we're gonna, I think we're considering like a 20 minutes, limit. We'll discuss it more.
I'll send you the picture, but it's also gonna have a time limit on it.
Nick had some custom signs designed.
I see.
I think I'll send-
Yeah, I don't have anything else.
Consider a motion to,
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
is there a second?
Second.
I had to get in there, didn't you?
I did, we talked about.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, say nay. We are adjourned.